Hello fellow sim racers, ripping off as many sim racing YouTubers as possible boy here, and today I'm doing some sim racing content for the first time in a while. Because why have an intro that says sim racing in the real world of motorsport when all I do is the latter? Anyway, today I'm looking at just a basic little review of some shoes. Not normal shoes that I used to walk around outside in because I'm a sim racer and don't know what the outside world is, but these are shoes purely for sim racing in. Yep, I bought some shoes to drive pretend racing cars in. If you're a long-time viewer and aware of the fact that I do more than just tell stories and rant about the happenings of what's happening in Formula 1 at the minute, and I probably should do some more of that, you'll know that once upon a time I was racing in a pair of red Converses that sort of became a mini meme on this channel. Before that, I was racing in a pair of AstroTurf football boots that were lightweight, but the sole, after a while, turned out to be a bit too thick. The Converses were better than the football boots, but while good enough for shorter runs and races that take between 10 and 15 minutes, after a while they just felt lumpy, and after a while when fatigue sets in when doing longer races, there would be times that I'd have my feet in the wrong place. And I noticed that after a video where I'd been doing a bit of heel-toe, I found marks in the white bit on the side of my beloved red shoes. And I wasn't going to ruin my favourite shoes. Insert Lando Norris thing about shoes here. So I know what you're thinking. Just racing socks. And to be fair, when I started in iRacing I did just that, but heel-toe in socks is not the most comfortable thing to do. I could use the auto blip setting with auto clutch in the Mazda MX-5s, but, well, you know, immersion. Some people do race in socks and are comfortable with that kind of thing, but after doing a race at Monza in the iRacing IMSA series, I decided to find some shoes to do races in, as I would be driving the car for up to 1 hour in races. Well, it's iRacing, so 15 minutes or so of some knobhead who's going, "If you no longer go for gap," and spears you into a wall after trying to dive bomb his way into Monza turn 1 from 2 seconds back, and then you get 25 minutes of repair time. You think I'm joking, but it's happened. More than twice. So with my Christmas money, thanks Nan, I bought a pair of these Sparco K-Pole karting boots from Demon Tweaks, and a link will be in the description so you can check them out or see what else they have to offer. They're blue, because channel colours and it's my favourite colour. The more you know. Because these are designed for karting use, they have a well protected rubber heel that was purposely designed to prevent fatigue when behind the wheel of a kart, which is obviously very different to me sat at my desk driving virtual racing cars, but after 10 or 15 minutes of driving, it felt like I was wearing nothing at all. And while my brain was scrambled and my upper back needing another trip to see the chiropractor by the end of that race because of a old high jump injury. Who'd have thought landing on your neck was bad for you? But my feet were fine, and I could have driven for much longer. After popping some ibuprofen for my back, obviously. So I probably should talk about the gear I'm running here. I use a Thrustmaster T300 wheelbase with the Ferrari F1 rim for F1 and GT stuff, and the 488 rim when I'm doing like rally stuff. The pedals are the T3PA Pro pedals with the Ricmotech load cell mod. A fun fact, these pedals were shipped over to me all the way from Canada by SimRacing604, and even though they're second hand and travelled over 3,000 miles to be in my flat, they're still going strong, and there's no need to upgrade them just yet. Funnily enough, I've had these about a year now, and they've taken a lot of my UK size 9s in the last 12 months. These pedals are all metal construction, and resting your heels on these for long periods of time in socks gets uncomfortable. The other thing is, while the load cell greatly increases your braking consistency through measuring pressure rather than distance, it doesn't move like the potentiometer based pedals or high-end hoisting valves and Fanatec pedals, and in heavy braking zones at places like Monza, Interlagos and Le Mans, it can be like stamping on a concrete slab, and trying to slam 60 kilos of force onto it in socks is fine the first few laps, but after that, fatigue and mistakes creep in. And after a while your braking performance drops off because of the uncomfortableness, and you start braking earlier and earlier until before you know it you're half a second slower, so you start overdriving again to gain the time back and inevitably crash. Is uncomfortableness a word? Microsoft Word says yes. If I didn't have load cell pedals, I wouldn't have invested in these, because there would be no point. But after a month or so with these shoes, my consistency's actually improved. It might be placebo, but getting a consistent feel under the brake pedal has been something I've struggled with for, well, forever. And as a result, I've managed to get most lap times within 2/10 of best, which, for me, is a miracle, and crashes through my own driver error have dropped significantly. I don't know what you're thinking. Jesus Christ, you spent money on racing shoes to drive pretend racing cars. Yeah, I did. So what? It's all an immersion thing. It's sim racing. You want to simulate a real race as best as possible because, let's be honest, most of us do this because we can't afford to do it for realsies. I'm doing a race in iRacing, I'm getting booted up, I'm getting ready to go. I hate to say it, but it gets you in the zone. You know, like when the Olympic swimmers come out with their Beats by Dre on. If I'd bought matching overalls and a custom helmet, that would be too far. It'd be like sticking on a suit for the FA Cup final in Football Manager. Besides, people dress up exactly like the Navy SEALs and the SAS to play airsoft, and this is a lot cheaper in the grand scheme of things. Why not just a regular pair of camo trousers and a black top, instead of going the whole hog? Same thing. It probably isn't. I mean, Senna managed to rag an NSX around Suzuka in a pair of loafers, but then again, he was Senna, and he was a much better driver than most people. You'll actually find most sim racers who race competitively will have a pair, and that's ignoring people like Jimmy Broadbent, Chris Hay and Billy Strange. You only need to look at how many cars have got Abruzzi Racewear logos on them in the VEC and iRacing to see how popular wearing boots, or even getting custom-made boots in the case of Abruzzi, has become. But, and this is a big but, and we need to get this bit out of the way, you're not going to become a driving god overnight just by spending 50 quid or so on some shoes. But in my own personal experience, I've become more consistent, and that's probably just as important. And I've shaved probably half a second a lap on average in my Ford GT and iRacing as my consistency has become, well, consistent. And I can get to the end of a race without dying of my own ineptitude. And getting a decent result as well. Would I recommend getting a pair of racing boots? Yes. But if you're not using a load cell pedal, then there's no point, since with most potentiometer based pedals, you can operate the brake with your pinky toe. You're going to get jack all out of wearing a pair of shoes with pedals from a Driving Force GT. Also, at the same time, if you're comfortable with your load cell pedals and are fine in just socks or barefoot, then keep going. I mean, they're your feet. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I know Empty Box does, but then he's got longer feet than the deck of the USS Nimitz. So after a month, I'm pretty effing happy with my purchase. I've definitely got something out of them, and I'm enjoying my online racing a lot more as a result. But there will be the inevitable comments saying I've done it all wrong, that I'm an idiot, but oh well. These are just my own personal experiences, and obviously your mileage may vary. So all that's left to do is thank you for watching this video. If you've liked it, click the thing. If you hated it, click the other thing. And if you want to see more, click the subscribe thing with the bell on so you get all the latest from my channel. Massive thanks goes out to the good people of Patreon, and if you'd like to join them or just get involved in the social media side of stuff, then all you need is in the description box for you. So until next time, I've been AdmiralLaWind, have a great day wherever you are, and goodbye.